Happy Friday, all you beautiful radio listeners. Thank you for dropping in on our little happy hour. We appreciate you listening. If you're watching us on YouTube, here's a hand gesture just for you. You're welcome. YouTubers, feel free to hit us up on the chat. If you're listening on the radio through 105.1 FM, 1080 AM, on 105.1thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, or you told your smart speaker to play the best-looking radio show out there. However you got here, use the fan text line, 503-2GO-FAN. That's 503-864-6326. Share your thoughts, ask questions, solicit advice, or answer me this, dear listeners. You ever sneak in somewhere without paying? Casey, do you find that it's the same thing as stealing? If you go into a concert or a sporting event or just anywhere that should have a monetary exchange that you skip before you go somewhere, do you feel that's the same as theft?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially because there's people that have to work in order for the venue to get paid. Obviously, tip your waiters and waitresses. That whole mess.
Have you ever snuck in anywhere? Have you ever gone without paying, feeling like, hey, if we sneak on the seventh hole here and play the last couple.
Now that you say that.
All right. All
now
of a
that you
sudden,
say that.
you were pretty grandiose there for just a second.
Yeah, for a minute I was grandstanding, and then now
the most.
Now you kind of backed me into a corner.
Well, listen, we all have found, I don't need to pay this time. Generally, they're doing pretty well with one guy sneaking on and playing a couple extra holes on a golf course. The one that I was most chronically guilty of was I used to drive up to the mountain, and I would have so many of the lift tickets on my jacket when I was a punk kid. This would have been like 18, 19 years old. I'd have I wouldn't cut any of them off. And then I'd go up there. If I can get through the first few times through the line, like you don't go right when it opens because then there's only a couple people there. So you go in a big crowd, you find somebody, you start talking to them. As you get on, you take the outside position and you sneak past the lift operator. Once you get on a few times, they start recognizing your jacket. You say what's up to the guy, and now you get on there. I used to do that. And then if I got caught too early in the day, I had a broken zipper on one side. That was the other strategy. So you have one side with a zipper full of lift tickets. On the other side, broken zipper. Oh, it must have broken off. But then if they told you to go get it, if you wanted to keep snowboarding, I would then go and buy myself a lift ticket. And if I had enough runs in, I'd just take off. So I did. That was the most egregious thing that I ever did that I can think of.
It's pretty smart.
Well, you can't get away with it now because now it's all scanner. You have to get the boop, and then move on. But, at least for a little while, when I was young and poor, I just felt like the mountain was doing okay. You didn't go up there very often, and, you see, like, chopsticks holding something together on the lift. It felt like they were keeping that thing pretty well run. $100 for a lift ticket. I'm sure it wasn't that much then. It was probably $50 for a lift ticket. I could go without one guy sneaking on. So that's the worst that I ever did. If you're listening, and if you had something where you commonly snuck on, I mentioned the seventh hole because let's be honest, anybody from Vancouver has played 7, 8, 9 at Fairway Village 100 times more than you've actually played the full course.
Yeah,
very easy access point.
In high school, so I used to have what's called early release. So while everyone's still in class, I used to just have my clubs in my car.
Yeah, you
I
did.
Would get out of class.
Yeah.
Go hit 3 holes, 4 holes, just however many I needed to just feel a good day.
Yep.
And then look at the clock. Oh, got
There
time
you
for
go.
practice.
There
and
you
then I'm
go.
back to the school.
Yep. Yeah, see, it's we all do it. The reason that I bring it up today is a woman is a repeat offender on sneaking onto flights. She was arrested. She was a stowaway to Paris. She was flying from Milan to Paris. She also was caught sneaking on a flight from New Jersey to Milan. Her name is Svetlana Dalia, and she is a multiple offender of sneaking onto airplanes and flying for free. Now, that seems a little bit more challenging. Apparently, one of her strategies is to wait in the bathrooms for hours until all the conditions are just right so she can slip past TSA, get on, and then she's able to somehow sneak past the gate agent and jump on and go wherever she wants to. So if she's been caught twice, so I believe this is the second time that she's been arrested doing this, how many times has she gotten away with it? That's what I want to know.
I'm more impressed at the fact that she was able to get on so many flights.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is if you've been caught twice, how many times do we think she's done it without being caught?
It's got to be in the dozen.
You wouldn't risk it again if it wasn't worth the effort, right? You get arrested one time. Like if you try once and get arrested, what are the chances you're going back and trying again? If you get away with it a dozen or so times, then you get arrested, of course you're going back and doing it.
That's just people thinking of the airport as now like the train stop in New York.
Yeah, it's you've ever done that where you jumped on a railway without paying?
Yo, when I was
See?
little,
See?
I rid on the back of a train like a hobo. But
Did you really?
Yeah, those are fun.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
I
didn't take me very far.
This is why I need more context. You jumped on like the back of a Max train, like a hobo, or you jumped on an actual Amtrak and went from Portland to Vancouver. Like, what?
No, it was like a cargo train. So I think.
And where'd you go from point? I need point A
from one
and point
part
B.
of Tigard to the other part of Lake Oswego.
You would jump on the back of a cargo train and travel like a hobo.
I had a buddy
and how old were you?
I was like maybe 14, 15.
Oh, look at that, man.
It was only like a one-time thing. Just hop on the back, see how far we'll take it.
Your adrenaline's still pumping just thinking about that?
It was kind of fun.
I'm sure that it was.
Yeah.
I will say, out of all of the don't do this things when I was a kid, I'd never mess with trains, man. Those don't mess with trains videos, those got me. I may have consumed alcohol. There's a possibility that I've been in the vicinity of drugs in my life. All of the things that they warned you against, never been hit by a train. So that one worked. Whatever message they're doing.
I also have a friend who has been hit by a train.
Oh, no.
He was hit by the TriMet.
TriMet? Is he okay?
Yeah, it was his fault.
Well, I kind of assume. If you get hit by a train, how is it not your fault? Like, at what point? The train was coming along, just jumped off the tracks and came at me. Like, unless the... Okay. All right. Before we get to the main story, I need to remind everybody, this is a free event, so just come along. You don't have to get past any gate guards or anything. It is called Fan Madness, and it is back. Join the Fan Thursday, March 19th, Friday, March 20th, for two of the most exciting days of basketball in the history of the world at Tom's Watch Bar at the A&A Casino in Ridgefield. Dirt and Sprague, the firm of Harrison Meringue. Happy hour with who? Me, suckers. And Prime Time with Isaac and Suk, all broadcasting live throughout the day. Don't miss a minute of the action. Play hooky with the Fan for Fan Madness, brought to you by A&A and Window Nation, March 19th and 20th at A&A Casino Resort. I don't know if I buy all of the criteria, so I will give it to you. But MLB, for the second year that I've seen it, has announced their biggest bandwagon team for 2026. So if you are looking for a Major League Baseball team and you would like to jump onto the bandwagon, they have released the 2026 edition. Now, like I said, you can go with me on this and see if you agree with any of these elimination criteria, and we'll get it down to it. First they did was they eliminated all of the 2025 playoff teams. That seems like a very odd place to start, because you feel like that's where the bandwagon would start. In fairness, last year's team was the Seattle Mariners, so that was last year's bandwagon team. I feel like they're probably this year's bandwagon team, but I will give you the criteria they used. So that eliminates Blue Jays, Brewers, which also feels like a pretty good bandwagon team, Cubs, Dodgers, Guardians, Mariners, Padres, Phillies, Reds, Red Sox, Tigers, and Yankees. They also eliminated anybody that won a championship this century. I'm kind of out on that. So if you won two recently, you are out. They also...
Wait, century?
This century, and it's since 2000. Isn't that too far to go back?
That's too,
okay.
I was thinking decade.
Yeah, a decade sounds good to me.
Yeah,
I'm with you. So I'm 0 for 2 on these. Like, if you made it to the wild card and got bounced, tell me the Reds can't be a bandwagon team that we can jump on?
Again, I haven't seen a championship since 2009.
They eliminated thank you. They eliminated the teams that don't have a chance. Angels, Cardinals, Nationals, Rockies, White Sox. And they eliminated a whole handful of other teams. They came up, the output of this whole little exercise. Tell me how you feel about this. Number one bandwagon team for 2026. We disagreed with the first three factors on this, so I'll stop going down it. Baltimore Orioles. They felt more like a bandwagon team 2 years ago. We had the sinner and the saint going. Will Darkins jumped on the bandwagon a couple years ago. They had a down year last year. I'm not buying this.
And now they have Pete Alonso.
You go out and you get a big free agent. Makes sense. You know who I think the bandwagon team could be for this year with all of those? Pirates.
I think so, too.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm with
you and I
there.
are on the same page.
I am with you there.
I did not love the exercise. I saw that the Orioles were the number one bandwagon team. I'm like, how on earth is that possible? I'll tell you now, the Mariners are going to get a lot more people on their bandwagon. After what they did last year, I think that's where the bandwagon builds, is you get that close and we all start running. I get that you eliminate the Dodgers can't be on the bandwagon. Blue Jays bandwagon's probably got plenty of room. I don't know. Bandwagon fandom is a pretty funny thing because the Seahawks and the Mariners are both pretty full, but guess what? There's always more room. People sure do love an out-of-nowhere champion, and nothing brings out new jerseys and new hats and new merch sales like winning a championship. So, we disagree on the criteria, but there you have it, Baltimore Orioles, according to MLB.com. Let's do some in case you missed it. In case you missed it, second-year Jets head coach Aaron Glenn was caught on camera dozing off during positional drills at the NFL Combine. In fairness to Glenn, the Combine does not quite have the same juice as coaching an actual NFL game. I imagine it's pretty hard to sleep through some of the things that Jets fans say about his mother. Am I right about that? Like, that is not the... No? In case you missed it, outspoken Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia is refusing to temper his fiery personality for the NFL scouts at the Combine. He's also refusing to get any taller. No? Here's a direct quote. One thing about me is I don't care what people think about me. Here's another thing about me. I'm 5'9". Be as hard as you want, dude. In case you missed it, projected number one overall pick Fernando Mendoza expressed excitement about potentially being drafted by the Raiders and being mentored by minority owner Tom Brady. And you can already see the impact of their first meeting. If you look at before and after photos, it's clear Brady gave some tips on how to apply his makeup to his cheekbones because those things are popping. Did you see? No? Here's a little secret I learned from Giselle. Try this. In case you missed it, PGA Tour golfer Ryan Gerard accidentally drilled a bird mid-flight with his tee shot at the Cognizant Classic yesterday. Miraculously, the bird was fine and the ball still hit the green, leading fans to compare it to Randy Johnson's infamous exploding bird pitch. Please. The bird survived and the ball kept going. That's not Randy Johnson. That's more like Jamie Moyer. You probably weren't alive for this. Randy Johnson hit that bird so hard that the batter, the catcher, and the umpire all caught chicken McNuggets. It's true. It's a true story. Elsewhere in golf news, in case you missed it, Italian professional golfer Andrea Pavana suffered severe back and shoulder injuries after terrifyingly falling 3 stories down an open elevator shaft in South Africa. Scary, but not what I pictured when I heard a pro golfer got the shaft. I totally thought... Did you expect...
3 stories?
What's that?
Yeah,
3 stories!
That's crazy.
It's insane! In case you missed it, global icon Lionel Messi was tackled to the ground by an overzealous fan during a friendly match in Puerto Rico last night. Local police were able to apprehend and detain the suspect. Turns out those NFL fans on Facebook were right all along. Bad Bunny is a menace to society. I assume it was him. No? He's snuck past all the security, goes out. Bad Bunny's on the field. In case you missed it, Oregon State has dismissed head basketball coach Wayne Tinkle after 12 seasons and 2 NCAA tournament appearances. The school says they're looking for a leader that can help them get a little more flow on their offense. Oh, that's a stupid joke. In case you missed it, pop star Harry Styles revealed on a podcast that he was advised to practice peeing on himself while training for a marathon. Which is weird because I didn't realize you had to practice peeing your own pants. I thought that was a skill we were born with. Is that not? Now, if you want to practice peeing on other runners without breaking stride, that's something that takes a little trial and error. No?
I think there's already a pop star who did that.
Yeah, I think there's a few. If you're running a marathon and you're like, was that Harry Styles? Did he just pee on me? That would be something. And finally, in case you missed it, the Atlanta Hawks have announced that they are hosting Magic City Monday on March 16th, a full tribute to the city's most iconic strip club. They're bringing in T.I. and Lou Williams to do the halftime show. They're selling lemon pepper wings, and of course, they're playing the Orlando Magic, because why wouldn't they be? Is it just me, or is this the first time you've ever actually wanted to go to an Atlanta Hawks game? Is that
That might be a first.
This is going to be a party. Here's my betting tip of the day. Take the under in that game and put a parlay on both teams to lose their next 3. Does that seem like a good?
That's a fair bet.
All right, that's your in case you missed it. Thank you to our wonderful studio audience. At 2:30 today, we're going to have Joe Gatto, comedian. He's going to be at Helium this weekend. We got a little interview with him. We got to talk about the salary cap increase, how the top prospects for the Seattle Mariners doing, and what happened with the Trailblazers last night. All of that and more in the Daily Buzz. We do it next. You're listening to Happy Hour on 105.1 The Fan.
It's Here's your host, Luke Anderson.
All right, kids, let's start with your Seattle Seahawks. The salary cap is going up in the NFL. It has tipped the $300 million mark, so the new increases to $301.2 million to put together your roster for the 2026 season. They have also gone through and said, all right, well, where do the NFL teams sit with their space to that salary cap? And right now, your defending Super Bowl champs, the Seattle Seahawks, sit number 6 on that list with $59.6 million in cap space. They've got a lot of decisions to make. They got Rashid Shaheed, they got Kenneth Walker, they got Bua Mafe, they got plenty of free agents sitting out there that they need to re-sign. You're also looking at possibly extending Devin Witherspoon, Jackson Smith and Jigba right now. So they have some options, but nice to see a surprising season. You win a Super Bowl, you still got plenty of space. So good news for the Seahawks.
The Buzz.
Speaking of good news for the Seattle Seahawks, they kind of leaked out yesterday. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember who was? I think the Dolphins were number 1 on the list for the NFL Players Association survey of like best organized. Do you remember who was last on that lowercase? I'm having a hard time because it was a day ago, and I just have so many things going on. It's hard for me to remember who was the worst on the list, because that's all they really did. They didn't give us the full list. They just teased the first and the last. I think it was, am I right? It was Dolphins first.
It was Pittsburgh.
What? Sorry, what?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh who? The
Pittsburgh Steelers.
And who's your team again? Remind me.
That would be the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Now I remember. Well, the Seattle Seahawks sit number 4 on that list. So, you know what? Our teams are going in different directions. Some of us have a second-year head coach that's young and 38 years old, just coming off a Super Bowl championship, and feels like sky's the limit, possibly turning this into something where you have a long, extended championship window. Other people hired Mike McCarthy and have the worst, facilities in all of football. Not everybody can be at the top. Hey, man, I sure would rather be the Dolphins. Look at them at number 1. I mean, the Seahawks only number 4. It's not great. You okay over there, bud?
I'm hurting right now.
The Buzz.
Well, let's move on to the Seattle Mariners and talk about their top prospect, Colt Emerson. So Colt Emerson is a 20-year-old number 1 prospect in the Mariners organization. You're probably wondering yourself, how is he doing in spring training so far? Played 5 games, hitting .364 so far. He has been looking good at the plate, looking good in the field. They thought Colt Emerson was just a great athlete that could go out and hit. They weren't 100% sure that he was going to be a prospect at shortstop. It sounds like the way that he came into spring training this year, his glove has improved as much, if not more. So right now the 20-year-old is getting rave reviews. And because your rosters are going to kind of shift around quite a bit when the World Baseball Classic starts up next week, going to be more plate appearances for all these young guys. So good news for your Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, he had a nice little triple yesterday against Cleveland. Nice little RBI triple.
Yeah, hit the ball 101.8 miles an hour off the bat. Feeling pretty good about that. Meanwhile, just for comparison, that guy that you're paying all that money to, Giancarlo Stanton, can't open a bag of potato chips because his arm hurts too much.
What are we doing today?
Just giving you a hard time because it's fun.
The Buzz.
But hey, our Portland Trailblazers get a nice 121-112 win. They serve the Chicago Bulls their 11th straight loss. I know I was probably overblowing the whole thing, but that's a game you have to win. You're starting a road trip. You've got 4 games coming up on the road, starting with Chicago last night. And then you go to Charlotte, to Atlanta, to Memphis. You got to win 3 out of 4 of these games, and the only way you're going to do that is you have to start by beating Chicago. So a nice start to the road trip. Jeremy Grant leads all scorers with 27 points. Blazers looked solid. They looked pretty good going out there, especially when you have Jeremy Grant shooting 3 for 4 from behind the arc and kind of leading the way. It's nice to see the crafty veteran go out there and look good last night. Let's see if they can continue the momentum when they go into Charlotte, because, there's a dude we're going to talk about a little bit later. Got some possible nicknames. We'll have to talk.
I'm ready for them all.
We'll do that one more for the road. We'll need to talk about Charlotte Hornets basketball, and we're saving it till the end. It must be good.
The Buzz.
All right, let's go over to the Buffalo Bills. Did you see who they added to be an offensive assistant to work with Josh Allen? You feeling good about your Bills next year? Well, start to feel better. Trace McSorley is your new assistant coach out there. There is something about failed Penn State quarterbacks that does not get me excited. Like, if you hire Christian Hackenberg for they might be brilliant.
Kerry Collins.
You get Kerry Collins. I don't know if I would call him a failure or a bust, but man, like Drew Aller is on this path. Like, he'll probably end up getting drafted at some point, hold a clipboard for a while, and end up being a coach. I don't know what
He will be a quarterback's coach in 5 years' time.
Yeah, and you're gonna be like, what? That dude? That's Trace McSorley. That's the guy. Wait, he wasn't the biggest dude. I don't know that he was as highly touted as Aller or Hackenberg coming out of high school.
I believe he was a 5th-round pick to Baltimore.
Well, I know, but you have to remember that, like, the high school prospects, right? Like, what's the Notre Dame kid, the blonde? Who am I thinking of? What's his name? Blonde Notre Dame quarterback, Jimmy Jam, Simi Swami, Samsonite? Is that? No, I can't remember his name. We're searching. We're efforting for it. I'm sure the text line can help us out. By the way, speaking of the text line, Lowercase officially has access to the text line, so please send in your text so he can read them later in the show. We definitely want to get those. I can't remember this guy's name for the life. I can picture his dumb face, but he was like by far the top prospect. Whatever. We move on.
Sam Hartman?
No, it's not Sam Hartman. You have to go back probably a decade. We'll move on from that.
The Buzz.
A proposal by thescore.com to get rid of tanking that I actually like. I just want you guys to marinate on this. Their suggestion, get rid of the draft altogether. Can you imagine the NBA just going entirely free agency? You get all these young kids, you go out there. Listen, if you've got a stacked roster and you're near the tiered thresholds for luxury tax and all of that, probably not going to pay a lot for a guy coming out of college. Why not, if you're bad, or if you've got room left in the salary cap, just go out and draft these guys. I kind of like it. I don't know if I love it, but I kind of like it. It's simple, it's clean, it's elegant. Certainly the draft lottery is not working. You look at the NFL, man. You look at the teams at the bottom. They have so many holes to fill. There's no point in tanking. Coaches are going to get fired. GMs are going to get fired. Players are going to get let go if you're bad.
Again,
Tanking,
53-man rosters compared to
it just
13.
does not work. I kind of like this idea. Something to think about. You found the kid I was talking about.
Is it Jimmy Clausen?
Yeah, Clausen. That's the name. Freaking Garoppolo kept going in there. I know he's not blonde. I know he didn't go to Notre Dame, but I could not get past Jimmy. It was Jimmy. So, all right, yeah. Jimmy Clausen. There you go.
The Buzz.
All right. I had one more that I wanted to get to. There's a lot of things going on. None of them too big. Let's see. Lauri Markkanen out. Yep, we knew that. Drew Brees, part of a group that is looking to buy the San Diego Padres. And let me know if this is the fix you were looking for in college football. Donald Trump has invited 40 people to help run a panel on how to save college football. Does it inspire confidence that two of the biggest names are Nick Saban, who left when the NIL really got going, and Tim Tebow?
Another name on there, Urban Meyer.
So Tim Tebow's going to say more Jesus, and Urban Meyer's going to say more kicking kickers. Is that what we're getting? I don't buy it. All right, let's walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. And you tell me what you missed.
First on the fan, Braves pitcher Chris Sale spoke to reporters a few weeks ago and was quoted saying, "I will never challenge a pitch under the new ABS system.
Yeah, right.
Under the ABS system, pitchers, catchers, and hitters can challenge balls and strikes, but Sale went a little further in saying, I'm not an umpire. It's never been my job to call balls and strikes. I'm greedy. I'm a pitcher. I think they're all strikes. Catchers can make a lot of balls look like strikes." But he also said, but if my catcher has something to say about it, I have no problem.
So pitchers, catchers, and hitters can all challenge it?
I believe hitters as well.
Well, yeah, hitters, yeah. Pitchers, catchers, hitters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the one. I guess I tend to agree with leaving it to the catcher. That I can get, but man, you get one in there and you groove it. I think you probably set up some sort of communication between catcher and pitcher and just go.
Yeah, I think they already have the button system. You know, people have
yeah.
wristbands and certain buttons with earpieces in.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're doing that. Yeah, but there's got to be a way that the pitcher can communicate back to the catcher and just be like, what do you think? Give them the final say. Give them veto power.
Do you think Sale will go the entire season without challenging a pitch?
But again, if he can leave it to his catcher, then he doesn't have to call it. I mean, it's not like you're going to... The nice thing about this is you can't challenge it and have the umpire retaliate because you can just challenge the next one, especially if you win. So I'm not worried about it.
For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher and
Club tonight, tomorrow night, and Sunday. 2 shows tonight, 7 and 9:15. The 7 o'clock's already sold out tomorrow. If you have tickets, congratulations. If you don't, I'm very sorry. You'll have to go to the 9:30 or 7 o'clock on Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Joe Gatto. Joe, How are you,
Yes,
sir?
we're here. I'm here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
You know what? I'm very happy to have you. You have taken interesting route to get to stand-up comedy, if I'm reading everything correctly. So you started in improv when you were in high school, if I have it correct. Then you did improv for a little while doing some other jobs. Impractical Jokers blew up. You walked away to spend more time with your family. Now you're a comedian, podcaster, author, doing a little bit of everything. So how do you...
Yeah.
I used to do stand-up. That's why I always try to have a comedian on every Friday. It's something that I absolutely love. How different is it doing stand-up than everything else that you've done?
It is. It's so fun to entertain across all those mediums. I've been very fortunate, and
Yeah.
each one has their own benefit stuff. I really like in stand-up comedy that you're able to just make an event of it. Like that's my favorite thing about stand-up is that like you're the reason why people have gotten a babysitter come out and they're trying to forget everything. Like I that's not lost on me. So I really love about the stand-up to make it like just a good hang where people could just come, laugh, not be divisive, not think about all the BS going on in the world. Just come have a good time and listen to some fun, crazy stories that are all my life.
Awesome. Well, you've got a couple specials out. You've been touring for 4 years. You're doing 5 shows this weekend. How different are they going to be? I imagine with your improv background, you can go in 100 different directions.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not afraid to dive in and stuff. Like I went on a tear in, I don't know. Do you guys have Waymo up in Portland? That
We do
car
not
that
have.
drives itself?
I have taken a trip on a Waymo, but that was in Phoenix. We do
Yeah.
not have it up here yet. We
That's
just
where
have
I
terrible
was.
drivers. I will take robot cars the second they get here. But for right now, you get to a stoplight and everybody, no, you go, no, you go, no, you go, no, I don't get me started on that.
I went on a tear because I had never seen them when I was in Phoenix. And
Oh,
that was the
yeah.
first time I saw them. And I saw this old man waving on a Waymo for like 15 minutes of his life, just being like, like a walker. He's like, go. And I was like, this poor guy,
Yeah.
the clock is ticking here. He's wasting precious moments.
One of the wildest things when you go into the Phoenix airport, if nobody's ever been, I mean, it is just empty cars driving around waiting to pick you up. Like you don't need to go into the city. Just at the airport, you'll see 30 before you get your Uber to actually show up. It's a wild
It's
thing.
like the Jetsons. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
like the Jetsons. Yeah. So I went in on this guy because he was telling me, he's like, it's cheaper. I'm like, that's never the reason to do something. It's like, that's nothing. That's not good.
If you're just joining the show, we got Joe Gatto with us, one of the Impractical Jokers doing stand-up comedy at Helium this weekend. Joe, if people can't tell, it sounds like you have a New York accent. You grew up out there. Are you a New York sports fan by chance? Are you one of those? Are you a sports fan at all?
No. I mean, look at my body. My body's not built for sports.
We
It's
don't
built
mean
for
an
pastry.
athlete. Well, listen, the difference between an athlete and a sports fan are two different things. So now I can tell you really
Dude, I'm
not.
a fat lead. I'm a fat lead. Love it. I grew up in New York, which is, pretty much like you got, a lot of choices,
Sure.
like Mets, Yankees, Jets, Giants kind of thing. And I just always cheered for New York. Like I'm a hometown guy. If New York's playing, I'm cheering for New York. When there's
Well,
like
you
a
can't
Subway
do that. They
Series or
play
something-
against each other. You're a terrible sports fan. New
I'm
York.
the worst.
Listen, we've had New York comedians on, and it's not Jets or Giants. It's one or the other. It's not whoever wins between the Yankees and Mets is fine. No, it's not. That's like life and death. So you are not a sports fan. That's a perfectly fine answer.
I am not. I never claimed to be. Don't put words in my mouth, first of all, okay? I open this by saying I'm not a sports
Fair
fan.
enough. Fair
But I will let you know. I just want to make sure that, everybody's, winning doesn't really matter. We want everybody to have a good time.
Well, perfect. Did you get caught up in the Olympics at all? Because you have kids. I always think that's more of a family event than a sporting event. Did you enjoy the Winter Olympics? Because one of the things about the Winter Olympics, that's just tuning in to see people do crazy stuff. Like any second, somebody could fly off the side of a mountain and be dead. Did you get into that at all?
I did. I watched it mostly for the death. I think it's most critical. Those people aren't even real to me. Those people are on a different level of humanity. Like I can't even understand, except the people that do the curling. I mean, those people, that's a special breed. I don't know. Even though there was a lot of controversy around the curling with the guy like poking it. And
Yeah,
stuff,
that's-
it was like you think it's like the cleanest event, and it had controversy. Everything in the world's got controversy now.
Yeah. Racing down a mountain, there's no problem with that. But like the guys hucking the stones across the ice. The problem I have with watching curling is it feels like you should have to have a beer in the other hand. Like they're almost making it two hands on the broom. Like you should have to be holding a Molson or something in one hand, or whatever your
I call
country's beer is.
I call it cold shuffleboard. I
It
want to see
is.
a bunch of Floridians getting down there, right? Put a Parker on grandma and see how good she is.
Yes, that would be fine. So what is your game? You mentioned shuffleboard. Do you like when you travel? Do you like to go find a bar that has a dartboard or something like that? Or you're
Nope.
just in it for the comedy?
I'm a bowler, man.
Oh, a
I'm a
bowler. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a bowler. The two things I'm able to do competitively, like I could hang on, which is interesting, is a bowling alley and a volleyball court. I play volleyball pretty well.
All right. All right. Do you play the
Yeah.
sand volleyball, or you get out there and screech
I
up a
used to
gym?
do the sand volleyball back in the day, Jersey Shore, down with my
Okay.
cousin. Yeah, I used to do the sand volleyball. That was good. But now, like I had this thing they always used to say, like the ball would never hit the ground near me. I would dive everywhere. I would just always go. I wasn't really like a big spiker because I don't have ups like that. I
Yeah.
was very heavy center of gravity. But like overall, I think I enjoy good volleyball.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a sand volleyball court here in Portland, Oregon, and I had some friends that invited me to play in a tournament. I played a lot of sports growing up. I'm a pretty good athlete. Never played any volleyball. But I'll tell you, the difference between playing on a beach and playing in a sand pit in Portland, Oregon, I kicked something, put a gash out of my toe. That was the end of my beach volleyball career. So I don't know what you step on at the Jersey
You
Shore.
played dirt
but-
volleyball. You didn't play beach volleyball.
Yeah.
You played dirt volleyball.
Yeah, well, and it's just everything's cold, everything's wet. It's Portland, Oregon. You do get some sunshine when you're up here, which will be fantastic. We're talking with Joe Gatto. He's going to be at Helium. There are 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow, but the first one is sold out. So you've got just a 9:30 show tomorrow, or you can do 7 o'clock on Sunday. If you want tickets, go to heliumcomedy.com. That's the easiest way to do it. You said you bowl. What is your average? Is that what I ask? I don't know
Yeah,
how to bowl.
average is right. Yeah,
Okay.
my high score ever was in I was on the high school bowling team. I know.
Yeah, you
I got
were.
it. I
Oh
was on-
man!
for
For
not to
people
brag.
just listening to the radio, we are talking through a Zoom. He just did the move where you put your hand to the side of your head and just slick it back, like oh yeah.
The coolness. Yeah, it's the universal sign of coolity.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you said you're a
uh,
bowler in high school. I mean, how much cooler does it get than that?
That's it, man. Yeah, that's top tier. I bowled a 288 in
Okay.
high school. It was that was my highest game ever, and it was a fluke. Like my average in high school, I think was like 201.
Okay.
But now if I pick up a ball, I take my kids bowling. We go like bowling parties and stuff with the kids' birthdays and
Yeah.
whatnot because I have 2 kids. So like I'll pick up a ball now and again, and I'm able to get like a 140, 160 bowling once a year,
Okay.
twice a year.
I once witnessed a 289, and it was a spare on the 9-pin spare on the opening frame, and then he struck out, and it was absolutely insane. And this was a buddy that there's a local community college that I grew up in Vancouver, Washington. Clark College, for anybody listening, had a bowling class back in the day. Everybody I know that went there took that as their PE credit, and this kid went out and rolled a 289. A friend of mine, Matt Zarzana. So shout out to Matt if you're listening.
Matt, way to go, buddy.
Oh man, he's 1 pin better than you. The thing with bowling is I could just never get into it. I was always worried that if I was a great bowler, I'd be too cool, but apparently it worked out for you. So I guess I was wrong this whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I think you did a misstep, but you learn life lessons, and now
Yeah.
I think you should go right to from this interview, go right to the alley.
Well, here's what I do when I go bowling. I can't help it. I stack bowling balls. I've been in the Hood River newspaper for stacking bowling balls. I stacked 7 by myself, and somebody took a picture and it ended up in the paper. Me and my brother were messing around. We got 8, and then we got yelled at by the bowling alley attendants. We went home and looked at the Guinness World Record. 9. We just stacked them
Oh,
on the
my
thumb hole,
goodness.
stacked them up. So that's the only thing I'm any good
You
at.
need
at bowling.
to right now, my friend. You need to do the quality.
Oh yeah, Daddy-o. Let's go. Let's go. So you're doing 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow. Do you have a starting point, or is it more improv when you're doing the stand-up comedy, Joe?
No, it's a set. Yeah, it's a set
Yeah.
I've curated over a while. Yeah, it's really good.
Are you working on
open up-
another special?
I'll talk about. I hope to. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love this hour. I think it's one of my favorite things I've put together. So I'm really excited to do it. That'll be down the road though. But I think I always talk about like an experience when I get to town too, because
Sure.
it's always just I'm not one of the comics that goes and like sits in his hotel room. Like I like to go about and see the town while I'm there.
And have you
So-
been to Portland before?
Yeah, plenty.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Portland.
I'm told some of the best crowds in the country. Everybody we talk to seems to love it. What's your experience been performing?
Yeah, it's always
in the city?
been great. I think people come out to laugh in Portland for sure. Like I remember I've come through with the Jokers before. I've come through solo, and every time I've been there, it's just always been good. It's always about like the people in the room like wanting to have a good time. If
Yeah.
you have that, like it's your job is so easy. And just Portland's one of those cities where you could just come in and people are like, let's do it, let's laugh. So, it's not like it's divisive or like people aren't sitting there with their arms crossed, like,
Yeah.
go ahead, funny man, make me giggle, So it's cool.
9 years of Impractical Jokers. You want to just tell people a little bit about what that? I'm sure you've told this 100 times, but what's the quick version of that wild ride? Because you went from
Yeah.
kind of unknown to which was
Known.
important for but important for the show, right? And then it probably got harder.
sure,
The
yeah.
more people started to recognize you, it probably got harder to do what you do.
Yeah. Well, it was 10 years because a lot of people don't realize that we started filming, we debuted in 2011, right? But when the order came through for the show, they ordered the pilot, right? We did the pilot and they automatically ordered 6 episodes or whatever it was, a half order. And we did it. And then when we submitted the first episode, they were like, "Oh, this is amazing. This is great." They ordered they said right away from the first episode, they're like, "This is great. Let's order more." And they will finish the order. And then by the
So
time
how many
we finished
episodes was the
that,
first season? Was it? Because
first season was 13, I
Okay,
think.
yeah.
And then we ended up doing 31 episode orders.
wow.
They're not doing that much anymore now, but I mean, in my heyday, my 8th, 9th season, we were doing 31 episodes of TV. So by the time the first one was done, they're like, "Okay, we'll take the second one." We started filming the second one before even the first aired.
Gotcha.
So like we were still, and we were on True TV, which helps because it's like channel 1 million. People don't really, so not like
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
NBC, so people didn't really, you had to know it kind of thing.
Sure.
And we were able to like go under the radar for almost 2 years
Nice.
because just the way the orders came out,
Yeah.
which was super important for the show. But yeah, it's great, man. I got diehard fandom. They're the best. They're super supportive. They've been with me through thick and thin. And it's interesting because you're you on TV. I'm not playing a character.
Yeah.
So people get to know you, know your humanity, know that you're a real person. You get on stage, people like, if you saw me on TV, you're gonna like seeing me on stage because it's the same guy. It's not like have to put on an accent or
Yeah.
have lines.
Yeah.
It's just me. So it's been a really, really cool wild ride, full of ups and downs. It's been insanity. We're going through lots over the last couple of years, especially, but it's all just been overall super positive because I've been there to make people laugh through the tough times. And I feel like that's my purpose,
And you stepped away to spend more time with your family and then get into this. And you've got a couple books out. Anything else you want to tell people about it? They want to find your comedy outside of this weekend. So they want to get ready for a show this weekend, or they just want to get to know you a little bit after this interview. Where should they go online to check out what you do?
I definitely think my Instagram is, I've been curating that thing and having so much fun with it. It's at Joe_Gatto. And I've been having so much fun with these reels and the interactivity with the fans and just like talking. So I do a lot of stuff on there, but if people want to, you can't miss me if you put on TV, the reruns, or if you go to YouTube and whatever, you see it all. My special's on Hulu and on YouTube, it's called Messing with People. That was my first special I did, which I'm proud of too. So people could find me. So
right.
it's just cool.
Well, fantastic. Joe Gatto, 5 shows this weekend. The early show on Saturday already sold out, but you can check out 7, 9:15 tonight, 9:30 tomorrow, or 7 o'clock. Go to heliumcomedy.com. Joe, it was great to meet you. A ton of fun to talk to you. And I won't make it out to a show this weekend. I'm too busy with kids' sports to make it out, but I was trying to figure out
Bowling?
the
Are they going bowling?
we are not going bowling. You ever do candlepin bowling? That was my favorite.
Yes.
I'm not a big, what do they call, I guess it's just standard bowling or
Bowling.
what 10 pin. They call it 10-pin bowling.
10-pin.
I'm not down for that. But if I went back to Boston and if I ever get a chance to go candlepin bowling, that's my game. That's the one I enjoy.
That's your deal.
Great to talk to you. Have wonderful shows. Thank you, Joe.
I appreciate you.
All right,
Take
ladies
care.
and gentlemen, we will do one more for the road. We do it next. You're listening to the Fan Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network.
The new home of the Portland Timbers.
All right, kids, if you missed anything from the show, if you're not listening right now, or if you never plan to listen, but you want to give somebody a nice gift, go get the podcast. It's available, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, 1051thefan.com. Casey has a brand new toy, and it is the text toy. So, Casey, what are people saying on the fan text line and the YouTube chats that we need to address?
Well, they were right in saying Jimmy Clausen.
I told you they would have it. You should have just looked over there.
Well,
you went and did a whole
They
internet
weren't as
search.
quick.
Oh, you think so?
No, the timestamp says it.
All right, yeah. Jimmy Clausen. For some reason, couldn't think of his dumb name, but he was by far and away the number one prospect. Then he gets to Notre Dame, and they're like, meh. And then I think he limped into the NFL. I was on a roster for a little bit.
I believe he played as a backup for the Jets.
If you can't start for the Jets, things aren't going well. I think we know that. What else do we got?
Someone saying, who doesn't sneak beers onto the golf course?
Well, sneaking beers is another one, but that's not the same as skipping the greens fees. That's a whole different thing.
Depends how many beers.
Well, it would be the same thing as sneaking mini bottles onto the airplane versus sneaking onto a flight from New Jersey to Milan. If you can sneak your way on an international flight, that is something different than throwing a couple Coors Light underneath the golf balls in the bottom of your bag.
And then Joel on YouTube says, I guess when DK said that the grass was greener over in Pittsburgh, he wasn't talking about the Steelers' facilities.
Well, there you go. I just love that DK Metcalf and Geno Smith were like, well, I can't wait to get out of here. Yeah, well, the Lombardi Trophy looks pretty good.
Awfully shiny.
Let's do... Charlotte Hornets rookie guard Con Knippel completely shattered the NBA rookie record for three-pointers made in a season. He now has 209 three-pointers. He beat Keegan Murray's rookie record of 206. Now, he also did it 22 games earlier. Knippel is actually chasing down Cooper Flagg for the odds for Rookie of the Year. He has been fantastic. And they've had a couple little shootouts when they played against each other. It's actually
He's legit.
It's pretty fun to watch.
I'm all on the Con train.
Okay, the Con train. Okay, so this is my immediate thought. I actually was listening to, I think it was one of your sports updates earlier today, and I just wonder if anybody has coined the term triple Knippel. Is that a thing that we have heard yet? So I checked the internet, and turns out it's been mentioned, but only in the remote reaches of subreddits. So it has not become a thing that anybody has used. So that was my first instinct on it. So the other nicknames that people are trying to get out there are Con Man, which somebody said the Wrath of Con, which is
I like
a little
that.
bit better. You know what I like though? Since he shoots from deep, the Long Con.
I like that even more.
Okay.
like that
So we're
even
going to go
more.
Con. So those are my two. The Long Con or triple Knippel. What do we like better?
I like the Long Con.
Okay.
Because then you could start doing a bunch of
Yeah.
who did Leo play in Catch Me If You Can?
I can't remember the name, but I know who you're talking
But then
about.
you can start doing a bunch
Abso-
of
yeah.
bits towards that.
Yeah, absolutely. The Sting was one of the Long Cons, and come on, I just kind of like that. He shoots from deep. Oh, they were hit again by the Long Con. They got him. So yeah, Con Knippel is awesome. If you have not watched Charlotte Hornets basketball all year, here's a little preview for you. They host the Portland Trail Blazers in just a couple days. I believe that game is tomorrow. So you
Tomorrow, 10 a.m.
Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Get up early and watch your Blazers in Charlotte. Check out the rookie shooting sensation. Big thanks to Joe Gatto for joining the show. Check him out at Helium this weekend. Thank you to Lowercase. Thank you to everybody listening. And, of course, thank you, Isaac Ropp. We're all done for now. Bye-bye.
Always look on the right side of life.